Hey, Dream Builders. Welcome to tonight's session. My name is Tamara, and I'm the manager of Literature Academy. And I can tell that you guys are on fire and ready for tonight's session. But before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and make sure you are all settled. I want to know where you're from, if this is your first Ask the Expert session, and if you're excited about tonight's lesson. So tell me if, one, where you're from, and then two, what are some of the obstacles you're facing when it comes to focusing on your financial goals? So also let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me so that we can go ahead and get started with tonight's lesson. All right, I'm not seeing any comments, so that is kind of, okay, there you go. Thank you, Veronica. Veronica from Philadelphia, looking forward to learning. All right, perfect. So that means you guys can hear me. And don't be shy, if this is your first session, please jump into the comments. Let me know where you're from and what are some of the obstacles that you're facing as it relates to working on your financial goals. So if for some reason you are tuning in and you are not able to comment, make sure you look at the bottom of the video, refresh your page, and you should be able to see a link that says join the discussion. And I'm just going to go ahead and make sure this is also posted in our Facebook group. So you guys should be able to see that and be able to join in so that you can comment as well. So just give your page just a quick refresh and you should be able to see that so you can join the discussion. And then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, I see you pouring in now. Perfect. All right, so let's get started. Before I even jump into tonight's session, I want to talk about our last session. Ro, who is not a stranger, she's actually a member of the Unicorn Squad, which is what Tiffany calls everyone behind the scenes that helps with the Budgetnista and Literature Academy. And she helps us so much on the team as well. And we figured that why not bring it to you guys? Because I mean, she's absolutely amazing. She helps us become more and more productive, and she just kind of helps us keep the business going. So we're extending her expertise to you as well today, and I want to introduce you to her. So in a nutshell, she's passionate. She's a passionate human being. I cannot express it enough. She's just a ray of sunshine, and she's always speaking about how to live your best life while being able to manage the household, your business, and also just your personal self-care. And through that, it's all about productivity and really coming up with a strategy to make sure that you're able to achieve both your personal and your professional goals. So this is what she also does as a living. She helps women identify and achieve their goals. She has been nicknamed the Igniter, hence Light a Fire. She challenges women through accountability and introspection to set milestones, tackle their voices, and operate in their power by accomplishing their mission. So I am super excited because this is a special session. We actually have a Literature Academy member with us tonight. Her name is Naomi, and she is going to talk about some of the obstacles she's facing with her financial goals. But before we jump into that hot seat session, Ro is going to jump in and share some valuable information with you to kind of help you with some strategy and to give you the techniques you need to be successful. So Ro, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so thankful for that amazing introduction. Dream Builders, how are you doing? I am so excited to be with you ladies tonight, and I hope you're ready. I hope you came prepared. Get your glass of water, get your book, get your pen. We are gonna have an amazing time today. So quick background, I became the productive mom in 2013 when I found myself dating, engaged, and married all in 1 year. I gave birth to my son 11 months later, and then 2 years later, I had another son. And I'm like, okay, so I love my husband, love my 2 kids, but before being a mom, being a wife, I had dreams, I had goals, I had visions. These kids are not gonna take me out. Motherhood is not a graveyard, it is not a cemetery, it's not where dreams go to die. And I need to figure out, how do I get all these other things that I wanted to do, how do I get them done and have harmony, not go crazy, not hustle, grind, and all that craziness. So that's pretty much my backstory. And today I'm going to do a quick slide just to talk a little bit about productivity. But again, I wanted to give thanks to our amazing host, Tamara, and just to Tiffany, the Budgetnista, for creating this amazing platform so that we can connect, ignite, and just have a good time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. What I want to suggest is don't try to take notes on everything I say. Take notes on what resonates with you so that you can just write what you really, write down your aha moment, and feel free to go ahead and share that with us in the group. All right, so we're talking about productivity tonight. Here's a quick agenda. Basically, we're going to redefine productivity, right? Productivity should look and feel different for everyone. And the reason for that is we all have different goals. Activity is not productivity. Business is not productivity. So if you check off 20 things off your list, but you didn't say hi to your loved ones, you didn't call your mom, you didn't check in with your best friend, then I'm not impressed, right? So we'll talk more about that. Then we want to redefine success. Success, just like productivity, should look different for everyone because we all have different goals. Are you noticing a trend? It's individual to you. Then we're going to move on to the danger of comparison. Here, we're going to bring it all together as we redefine success and productivity. So for all the Jamaicans in the room, if my accent gets too thick, I'm going to need you to go in the comments and translate. So I don't know if you say productivity or productivity, but you know what I'm talking about. All right. Then we're going to move into solutions to help you get unstuck. What are the things that you're experiencing? And Tamara had the amazing idea. Let's just do it live. We're going to do a hot seat. So both of us are actually in the hot seat because this is my first time doing it live. So I've never met Naomi. We met 5 minutes ago. All I know is her name. I asked her to complete a questionnaire so that we can save time as opposed to going through all that on the call. But you're going to see what a session looks like. And then we'll go through some housekeeping. Or amazing host will tell you everything you need to know. All right. So productivity. If everything is a priority, then nothing is. If you have 25 things on your list that are important, then how is anything really going to get done? You have to prioritize what matters. So it's January, right? It's a new year. More so, it's a new decade. There is so much pressure to be great, to level up, to slay your goals, right? You're drinking more water, you're hitting the gym, you're eating better, you're trying to look cuter, you leveled up on self-care. Great, right? Get it, go hard. No, no, no. Stop, slow down. Too many goals become overwhelming. You can't remember them all. They're conflicting, right? So you want to dress cuter, you want your hair to look good, you want to be snatched, so you're in the gym every day, but then you're sweating out your hair. They're conflicting. You have to prioritize. What do you want more right now? Do you want to be cute with your hair looking cute, or do you want to be in the gym getting snatched? Both of them are important, but you have to choose one. Otherwise, you're going to go crazy trying to figure it all out. All right? So focus on what is important in this moment. Be strategic, be clear on your goals. So that's pretty much on productivity. Now I want to talk to you about success. One of my mentors, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, has an amazing definition for success. A lot of people look at success as the attainment of wealth, the attainment of resources and material things. He said, success is the completion and fulfillment of the original intent of God's purpose for your life. So once you discover and figure out why you were even created, and you start to pursue that, that's when you're considered successful. So Tamara is the host of this session. If you're trying to be Tamara, you're unnecessary because we don't need two of the same person. We need you to flow and function in the purpose that you were created to function in, right? The reason success, redefining it, is so important is because it's a moving target. Think about it. When you were younger, a high school diploma, you were the boss. Then they started with associate's degrees. You're like, okay, so my high school diploma is not cutting no more. I got to get an associate's degree. By the time you got that, oh, you only have an associate's? You better go get your bachelor's, girl. Fast forward, you need a master's, you need all these things. So success can be a moving target if you don't know what matters to you. You're always going to be chasing something. You said, once I make $20,000, I'll be happy. You make the 20. All right, once I make 35, I'm going to be happy. Once I make 50,000, I'm going to be happy. It can be a moving target. So that's why it's important to define what success looks like. Once you have that listed, then you can slow down. You can stop and say, okay, I've attained what I'm supposed to attain. I can stop pushing. I can stop stressing, right? So redefine what success looks like to you. And the reason I say this is because the definition matters. If you have $5 million in the bank, but you're dying of cancer, you are not rich, honey. You are a broke, poor person with a lot of money in the bank. Success is not about money. It's not about wealth. If you have a big old mansion, but nobody wants to come look for you, that is not success. That's not prosperity. I'm talking about whole life prosperity, where everything is in order: health, wealth, friendships, relationships, career, all of that. All right, moving on. Comparison. I cannot stress this enough. Do not compare yourself to others. If you feel insecure or inferior every time you scroll through social media, take a break. Here's why. You don't know people's story. You don't know what they're posting. You don't know the full story. A lot of people post their story, but a lot of chapters are missing. You're not privy to all of that. So if you see someone looking successful, do you see them working late at night? Do you see them not getting sleep? Or do you see the bill collectors calling them? You're not seeing the full story. So I want you to stop looking at other people's lives and saying that you want it. Don't try to share in someone's glory when you don't even know their story, right? So anytime you see someone with a post of a fancy restaurant, but you don't see them, ducking the credit card bill collectors and all that stuff, I don't want you to be on social media being stressed. The only person you need to follow is the Budgetnista. That's it. She is real. She is the truth. She is kind in real life. Everybody else who makes you feel inferior or insecure, do not follow them, because comparison is what gets you off focus. When you start looking to the left and looking to the right, you can't focus on your lane. Now you're trying to be someone else. Again, we don't need two people doing the same thing. We need your unique value. You are the secret sauce. So don't try to be someone else. There's something that only you can bring to the table. Don't try to be a copy of someone else. Now you might think, what does this have to do with productivity? Everything. Because as you're setting your goals, you have to do deep introspection to say, why is this important to me? Why do I want to make $100,000? Is it because my best friend makes $100,000? Or is it because if I make $100,000, I'll be able to accomplish the things that I set out to accomplish? You have to find out what matters. Find out what is important to you. All right, so run your own race, stay in your lane. Okay, I hope you all are doing well. I hope I didn't beat y'all up too much. We're gonna move into the next slide. Sorry, okay, so we talked about the problem. What is the solution? I like to say that we swap out some things. Instead of struggling, be strategic. So that's strategy. Instead of hustling, attain harmony. Instead of grinding, employ grace. So no more struggling, no more hustling, no more grinding. We use strategy, harmony, and grace, and you live with intention. Okay, so this is the end of the slide, but you have homework. I want you to define productivity for yourself. That was slide 1. I want you to redefine success so that you know when you've gotten to where you want to be. Then I want you to do some introspection. How did you fall, or I don't want to assume, have you fallen into the trap, the social media trap of comparison? And if you have, what did that do for you and how can you back out of it? Then lastly, I want you to write your goals down. The 5 F's: faith, family, finance, fitness, friends, or fun. And again, don't try to write all this down. We'll put this in the group for you. All right, so real quick, redefine productivity. What does it look like for you? Redefine success. Do some introspection on whether or not the whole comparison thing relates to you, and then write down your goals, whatever categories you want. But I just say 5 F's to make it easier to remember: faith, family, finance, fitness, friends. You could say friends or fun. All right, so that is it. I just wanted to do a quick overview so that you understand how I view productivity, what my strategy is when I coach, and I hope you have been ignited and we are ready to get into part 2.
Yes, we are. So I told you all that we have a dream builder with us tonight. And as Rose said, this is a hot seat for the two of them. So this is our first time doing this kind of session where we actually bring a dream builder on board to kind of have a live conversation about some of the challenges and obstacles they're facing to help them reach their goals. So tonight we have Naomi, who is a dream builder, of course. She's been a member of the Academy since August of 2019. And she is a very engaged member. We actually asked her recently to become a moderator. So for those of you who are fairly new, as you were coming in, you've probably been greeted by Naomi a few times, but you see her posting and it's just extremely engaged inside of the Academy, which is another reason why we chose her, because we know she is someone that is actively working on her financial goals. And that's another thing that's really gonna help you with achieving your goals. It's being in a community, being really engaged and having those conversations with everyone that has similar goals, focuses, and just basically are like-minded in the direction that they're going in life. So welcome Naomi from New York, by the way. Whoop, whoop. So Naomi, up there you go. Naomi, just say hello to the crowd. Let them know a little bit about you.
Well, hello, dream builders. I'm from New York. Like the rest of you guys, I'm trying to, increase my financial stability, make sure I can, support my family, make sure they're good for a long term, that just doesn't stop with me. And, probably struggling with a lot of stuff that everybody else is struggling with budgeting and saving, how to invest, how to, just make sure everything is substantial.
Yes, and there's so much involved in finances. So I'm really thankful for you, Naomi, for joining us tonight and being in the hot seat and also kind of being our guinea pig for this session. Really just thank you so much. And yeah, before this session began, we reached out to you. We asked you to complete a form that was going to help Ro with this segment. So I know Ro's kind of going to jump in and kind of talk about your answers, your responses, and then we're going to go from there. So Ro, what do you have?
Awesome, Naomi, let's get into it. All right, so like Tamara said, I asked her a few questions and the questions are pretty simple. I asked her things like, what are things you're trying to accomplish in 2020? What are your pain points? What are your obstacles? Where do you need accountability? And I just asked these questions so that you can get to start thinking about what matters to you. Writing things down helps you with clarity. So Naomi, can you tell the group a little bit about the goals that you said you mentioned 3. Can you just share that with the group again? And then we'll dig right into it.
Oh, my 3 goals were to stick to my budget, stick to what I allot to spend every month and not go over that. Another was to increase savings so I can be more stability, be ready for emergencies, make sure I have things in order in case, something happens. And then the third was to get a car because I've been without one for a very long time and I'm ready for a new one.
Awesome. All right. So one of the things you mentioned is a challenge in sticking to your budget is that you're a spontaneous spender, right?
Yes.
What are the kind of things that you spend on mostly?
Children. Children are the biggest, most spontaneous spending problem I have.
What is it? Tamara's over there like, yeah, me too. And what does that look like? Is it clothes? Is it toys? Is it experiences? What are you spending on?
Clothes, children love to wait to the last minute to let you know there's things going on at school that they need money for. Just little gadgets to get them through the day. They want extracurricular activities of that nature.
Okay. And if you were just supposed to throw a number out there, outside of the necessities, like the clothes and the things that they have to do for school, what percentage of that spending is actually necessary?
Oh my goodness, probably like 5%.
Okay. So we found some place that we can save you some money. So basically you're buying clothes, you're buying toys. It's not things that they need. It's not mission critical, but there's some kind of thrill you get out of it. It's either that, it could just be as simple as I love my kids and I like the look on their face when they get it. But what does that do for you? Is it just the physical act of shopping, purchasing, the purchasing power? Why are you spending so much?
Probably to compensate. we came from a really hard background. So they went from pretty much being able to have anything they want to having to learn the word no.
Mhm.
And it's a very big adjustment for children when they grow up in an environment where they're pretty much everything is a yes.
Right.
So after hearing the word no for so long, and I've gotten myself into a point where I could say yes a little bit more, now I say yes a little more freely.
Right.
And it's gotta stop.
I love the honesty and transparency. Thank you for sharing that, because a lot of times we compensate for different reasons. It could be, when daddy was here, we were able to do this and now we're not able to do it anymore. Or when I had this job, I was able to take them on a vacation 4 times per year and now I can't do that anymore. But I think what we don't realize sometimes is we do such a great job at raising our kids that they're not entitled as we think. And honestly speaking, there's only so much that money can bring to them or can make them happy. There's something called love languages, right? And there are 5 of them. Are you familiar with them?
Mm.
So basically, some people receive love or give love through physical touch. So that $100 that you spent on that tour, you gave that baby a hug, they felt like the king or queen of the world, right? So
Yeah.
there's physical touch. There's words of affirmation. Maybe instead of saying when they got that 90%, oh, good, keep it up. Maybe if you spoke into them, showed them how happy you were, that they put their all in it and they got that grade, those words of affirmation would be better than any jeans, any shirt, any sweatshirt you could have bought them. And then there's quality time. I have 2 boys, they're 3 and 5.
Mm.
They do like toys because they're kids, but having them under me, that's all for them. They want quality time. They want to sit and snuggle. They want to watch TV together. They want me to play with them. And that means more to them than a toy. So there's physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time. There's also acts of service. For some people, it's like, I don't want no gift, just wash the dishes for me, right? Or I
Right.
don't want a gift. Tamara's over there like, preach, right? So that's the 4th one. And then, so it's physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time. What's the 5th one? Physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time. Why am I drawing a blank on the 5 of them? There's acts of service, and then the last one is receiving gifts, right? So I think it's important to find out for your children what matters to them. And also, you can cut it into smaller spending. It doesn't have to be like a full outfit. You could get them a $5 t-shirt that has something cute, like a hashtag or whatever they're into. Like my boys love dinosaurs. I'll get them a $5 t-shirt from Children's Place. It has a dinosaur and they go, Mommy, you're the best. So I say all that to say, a lot of times we use finance to compensate for other things. But if we dig down to the root, we can save ourselves some money, we can save ourselves some time, and we can give the kids what they really want. So I'd love for you to think about that some more, think about what they really need. And more importantly, take the guilt away. Take away the guilt. Mommy guilt is real.
Very real.
Mommy guilt is no joke, but you're doing the best you can. Every time you ever wonder, am I a good mommy? That in itself, the answer is yes, because when you're not a good mommy, you don't care whether or not you're a good mommy or not, right?
Correct.
So the fact that you're out there trying to compensate for whatever it is that they lack, you are an amazing mommy. And don't try to compensate with things, because you don't want them to grow up entitled. What about when you can't afford that one thing they want? They're going to forget about all the toys, all the clothes, right? So don't raise them to be entitled. Raise them to be great citizens.
Right.
All right. So Naomi, you are an amazing mommy. I do not want you to be over there spending money trying to show these kids that you love them. The breakfast that you made them, that was love. The lights in the house, like, listen, you better go get some stickers, some little bows. Put one on the light switch, put one in the refrigerator. Those are your gifts.
I did that this Christmas.
I love it. I love it. What was their response?
Did that this Christmas because one wanted a new PlayStation. Like, this is why we cannot do that. So,
what was their response?
He's 14, so he pretty much got it. He's learning about money, he's learning about saving and stuff that I wasn't taught at that age. So he understood why the PlayStation was not a priority opposed to having running water and lights and food.
Yep. I love that. Another thing you can do is get them involved in the goals. So instead of like being in the background or being in your bedroom stressing about it, tell them, hey guys, mommy wants to save X amount of money. And then you can show them like, okay, this month I saved $20. How much do I have left? All right, so I have to save this. Get them involved so that they can celebrate these wins with you. Help, to your point, you didn't learn all this stuff. I didn't learn all this stuff. I went to college, someone showed up with a credit card and was like, free money, free money. I'm like, okay, thank you. Nobody's teaching those things at a young age. So thank God for the Budgetnista, but we can do it. We can change that cycle. Or kids don't have to grow up being in debt, getting credit cards, not understanding that it's not free money. We can change that cycle. So you can use your current situation to say, all right, kids, here's where we are. This is what I need to pay for electricity. Do you want to sleep in the dark? You're in New York. Winters get serious.
Cold.
It gets cold. So do you want heat this month or do you want your PlayStation? You pick. Right? So get them involved. How old are your other children?
I have a 11-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 20-year-old.
20. Okay, perfect. And they're all three are with you?
No, the 20-year-old is on her own.
Okay.
And I got the 11 and the 14 with me.
2 boys?
Yes.
Okay. Get them involved. Teach them. Say, this is why mommy's not doing this anymore. This is why mommy's doing this. Get them involved.
Well, we started that this year. We started piggy banks. They know every time they get some money or they find some change, it has to go in the piggy bank for a rainy day. So when they earn enough money and save enough money, then they can get the extras.
Awesome. There you go. And I'm going to reiterate. Get rid of the mommy guilt. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve the kids. You cast that guilt away. Say, nope, not today. All right.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on. You said you live in New York City. Well, I'm sorry, New York City, right?
Nope. New York State. Upstate.
New York State. Where are you?
I'm up in Albany.
Albany. Oh, okay. All right. So is it that you don't have a car or you just want a better car?
We have not had a car in a long time.
Okay.
So it's time.
All right. How do you get around now?
Public transportation.
Okay. And are you just tired of it or is it just really unbearable?
In the winter months, it's extremely hard.
Okay.
Very, very hard. And in the area that we live, it's not as frequent as it is in the more city areas. So
okay, fair enough. So you can get around as it is right now.
Yes.
It's just more convenient and more comfortable if you had a car.
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned 2 goals. One was to increase your savings by a certain amount. And then the other one was a car, which is going to decrease your income and your savings. So what is your plan? Are you going to get to that savings amount and then get the car, or how do you plan to balance the 2?
I've been kind of going back and forth. I don't want to use my savings to get a car. Like that would be a completely different savings allotment,
right,
to get the car. But the car would also be utilized, like I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I would utilize that while they're in school to do like Uber or Lyft or something like that.
Okay.
To get extra cash to pay for the insurance and things of that nature. So the car is not really a debt.
A debt or liability. Got it.
Right.
I like the way you think, Naomi. Good. Okay. So that's good. I would suggest, if you haven't already, to sign up for the Savings Challenge. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Definitely go ahead and sign up for that so that you can get to that goal. Share it in the group so we can celebrate with you. But I love your plan in terms of you're going to get this car, but it's not going to weigh you down. This car is going to bring in money. So in essence, it can pay for itself.
Correct.
So you're not getting an Audi, you're not getting a Range Rover, right?
No.
We're not going crazy. Okay.
Little Toyota.
Okay, good. Just making sure. One of the things that you mentioned on your questionnaire is that you know that where you are right now is based on your decisions. And I just want to applaud you for taking responsibility for your actions, taking responsibility for where you are right now. That's powerful because you're not a victim. We are victors. Wherever we are, that's where we are. That's just what it is. How we choose to look at it is a completely different situation, right?
Correct.
This is where I'm at. But the same person who got you where you are, that's the same person who's going to get you to where you want to be. Absolutely. So it doesn't matter where you used to be. It doesn't matter where you are right now. Just keep focused. You're going to get to where you are, and we're going to be in the group ready to celebrate with you. Yay. So, a lot of times we think we need more. And I like the way you're positioning yourself in terms of money, because your mindset is everything. Money is an amplifier, right? So if you're spending $50 on clothes for the kids right now, when you get more money, what are you going to do? Just spend more. So it's not so much, I always try to tell my clients when we're talking about money, I don't want you to think that you need more. I need you to figure out how to work with what you have right now, because if you don't figure that out, when you get the excess, you're not going to save it. It's just going to amplify whatever the poor habit is, or whatever the reason that got you where you are is, right? So instead of buying the shoes from Rainbow, now we're going to start buying the Bloomingdale shoes. And then once we get more money, we're going to forget Bloomingdale's and we're going to go to Gucci, right? So what we need to do is get our money mindset right now, so that once we get more, because it's a given, you're doing your savings challenge, you're following the Budgetnista, wealth is where you're going to end up, right? But you just need to get your mind right so that you don't just go crazy with it. It's ridiculous to hear the amount of people who win the lottery and within 5 years, they're worse than where they started, right? So that's not your portion.
No.
All right. So, Tiffany talks about the new to budget, just making sure that you have the basics. Do you have cable?
No.
Okay. What about Netflix?
Any Netflix or Hulu that I have, they're included with other things,
Something
like a
else.
cell phone bill or
Perfect.
things like that. So the only thing we pay for is internet.
Okay, good. And
since joining LRA, I have definitely seen where I need to cut down. I have cut down quite a lot. So I'm really thankful for finding the Budgetnista, because just doing the budgets every month, even though I may not get where I want to get, each month it gets better.
Awesome. Were you going to say something, Tamara? Oh, okay. I saw you leaning like you hopping in. Okay, so that's good. So you pretty much went through all your things, and everything you have is what you need.
Correct.
How often do you take Ubers or Lyfts?
I don't.
Okay, straight public transportation, that's it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Too much.
How often do you eat out?
Very rarely.
Okay.
Special occasions, maybe birthday. Other than that, no.
And then when you do eat out, is that the time that you splurge, or?
No. It's something the kids will pick to, they're still young. So, they love going to like Burger King and McDonald's and just little things like that. So, and then we never get the meals. It's gotta be off the budget menu.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Do you have a gym membership?
That I do.
Do you go to the gym?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. We just want to make sure. We want to check all the things. All right, so let's talk more about the savings goals. What are you going to do differently outside of Uber to make sure that you meet your savings goal?
I'm definitely gonna have to cut back on the spending.
Okay.
The splurge spending and retail therapy and stuff like that. So that's something I'm tackling this month.
Okay.
So, and just like I said, with the little money jars that me and the kids got, like they're expected, just like I do, at the end of the week, we have a certain amount that we're all supposed to put in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're cutting out retail therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the car, how do you plan to pay for it?
I'm probably going to wind up saving for the majority of it, because I don't want to get a loan.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of work in the last few years getting out of debt and
Nice.
tackling that down to a manageable amount. So this is why I don't have one yet, because I really don't want to take a loan out.
Perfect. Okay.
So it's going to be savings.
Okay, good. All right, so then once we get the car, we're going to do the Uber, we're going to do the Lyft to make sure that it's paying for itself. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Let's see. In terms of the kids, how else do you plan to bring them in to make sure that it's a family goal? Like, I know you said that they're going to do the piggy bank. Do you plan to be as transparent as showing them bills, showing them?
Yes.
Okay.
I have started doing that Yep, this year we did start doing that. Like we sat down, we went over our monthly budget, and this is what we have allotted to spend. Because my 11-year-old is the worst with the mommy, I need $5. We have something going on at school.
Okay.
So now, if you don't give me a week's advance notice, then we cannot participate.
And then you're teaching responsibility, so that's good.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, so they're pretty much involved. You know, like, nobody taught me about finances, so I had to learn the hard way. Got into debt, pulled myself out. You know, I'm teaching them about that now too. So they know that they have allotted amount of money that they're allowed to spend every month, just like I am.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So walk me through your steps. Starting tomorrow, all the things that you're going to do to get to where you want to be.
Oh my goodness. Starting tomorrow, there's no more unnecessary spending for the month. Unless it's a bill or an absolute need, it's not going to happen.
Let's stay there for a minute. When does the unnecessary spending happen? Is it an emotional spending? Like, okay, I'm upset, I'm stressed, I'm tired, let me go buy something. When does it happen? What are your triggers?
Yeah, pretty much stress.
Okay.
Like everybody else. You know, the go retail therapy normally helps. So yeah, figuring out other ways to, you know, cope with stress. You know, maybe going to the gym more. Doing more things with the kids that don't cost money.
Yeah.
You know, finding things in our area that is free. I don't know what else. Let's see.
Let's go back to the stress piece, because a lot of times we say that we're going to do something, but we need to replace it. So I love that you said when you feel stressed, you'll go to the gym. But sometimes if you're at work, it's not as easy to do that. So what are some things that you can do in the moment when you feel stressed, number one? And number two, what are the triggers? Is it, okay, I'm rushing, I'm running late, now I'm stressed? Is it, my boss did XYZ, now I feel stressed? I want you to know the trigger so that you can proactively, know when that's going to happen. And then we want to figure out what we're going to do to replace it. So we're not going to run into the mall anymore. We're not going to go to the vending machine or wherever else we spend money, but we're going to do X instead. So let's talk about those two.
Well, a lot of the triggers are it's my special needs child.
Okay.
Very stressful.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes I will go out and I will just go eat by myself, or I will go out and I will go buy myself something because I do a lot for them. So those are things that I know I need to cut out, because doing that while I'm stressed, it's not healthy, and it's also not good for my budget. So it would be more, you know, finding probably more outreach groups to go and sit with other parents that have the similar type of struggles that I have
Right.
with my special needs child, and just being able to, you know, like the mommy guilt comes in bad with that.
Yeah.
So trying to, like you said, get over that, because I know I'm doing a good job. I know I'm doing what I need to do for them. And it's just bad habits that need to be broken.
Right. And bad habits that need to be replaced with something else. Otherwise, we're going to go right back to it. And I wanted to touch on emotional eating for a little bit, because I'm an emotional eater, or I should say I was an emotional eater, because, you got to claim it, right?
Yes.
So that's been my thing. Whenever I feel overwhelmed or stressed, I realize that that's when I grab the ice cream. But that's where the conflicting goals come in. I'm trying to get snatched, trying to lose the baby weight, but I'm eating an ice cream. So it's the same thing, right? You have a budget that you're trying to stick to, but whenever you get stressed, you're running to spend that money. You have a gym membership that you're paying for, but you're not going to the gym because you're stressed. And even when you do go to the gym, you have to work harder because you just ate the food to make you feel better. So those are the things that I'm talking about. We have to try to proactively identify what causes these triggers. And now that we've identified that, feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed, feeling, that there's too much going on. Now you said, okay, I'm going to go find an outreach group. I'm going to connect with other moms or dads who have special needs children so that they can share success stories, share what happens, or even if it's just a quick venting session, like, listen, I'm so stressed, I'm so tired, I don't know what to do. And then you let it all out. That's free therapy.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so we talked about what the triggers are. Now we know what's causing it. And I had no idea that you had a special needs child, but I do know that there are tons of resources. So definitely do some research, get some advice on how to deal with it. All
Mhm.
right.
Yes.
And you know, special needs, it's just we all think differently. Like you and I think differently. We may have the same goal, we may have the same intention, but our approach is going to be different. And that's the same thing with special needs. Their brain processes information differently.
Correct.
So it's trying to figure out, how can I utilize this to benefit the child?
Yep.
How can we take the fact that you process information this way and then make it better for them?
Yep.
You'd be surprised. Actually, you know what? Do some research on famous people with special needs.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, like you have people doing TED Talks on autism, you have people doing TED Talks on different things, like because their brain works differently, they became millionaires because the way we're sitting here doing the 1, 2, 3, they're like, oh, jump from there to there. So make it work for you.
Mhm.
So we talked about the triggers, some of the free events. I don't know a lot about Albany. My sister's in Schenectady, but I do know that, you know, do you get a lot of snow? Did you get snow this year?
Oh, we've gotten a lot already.
Really? We had 60 degrees today.
It is 60 degrees today. It just melted out where we are. I am actually closer to the Schenectady area,
Okay.
so it's a little bit more brutal out here.
Okay. What I was gonna say is, if you get snow, don't sit in the house all stressed out that it's snowing. Get a cardboard box, get the top of, like, you know, those big old barrels, get that,
Mhm.
have the kids sit on a hill, slide their tails down, like, you know, do something with it. Go ice skating, do something. I know there are a lot of free ice skating events in parks and everything. So don't let whatever situation you're in make you stress out. Use it to your advantage.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
What else were you going to say? So we talked about the unnecessary spending that we're cutting out. We're going to find out what that trigger is, and then we're going to replace it with something else.
Yes.
All right. What else are we doing? What's our 3-step plan?
I'm gonna identify the triggers and replace them.
Mm-hmm.
Get the children more involved in the budgeting,
Okay.
and I forgot what the third one was.
You're going to find free events too.
Yes. To free events to keep them busy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then also research special needs. Find support groups.
Yes, we already have pretty much a lot of support groups for that as at this moment.
Okay.
So
Perfect. Is there anything else that you want to bring up that you need a little strategy to tackle?
no.
Okay.
Awesome. I just want to jump in really quick just because
Yeah.
I just have to say, with you asking the questions that you're asking, and I would hope that the audience was taking notes on what Ro was asking Naomi to help her kind of with the thought process. Because one thing I realized from the two of you just talking is like, Naomi, you are in motion. You are making progress. You already have the ball rolling. And I think a lot of us, a lot of us are moms that are, we are all moms, Ro, Naomi, and myself. And then there's a lot of moms in the audience as well. And we all can relate to that mom guilt. But you're doing a phenomenal job. Like just hearing how you're getting your son involved, even the little bows that you put on everything to let them know it is a gift. The lights are on. We have food on the table, clothes on our back. Just giving them that reminder of the basics that some people cannot provide to their family that you are doing. And then just the plans that I've seen you in the Facebook group talking about couponing and just like I said, being extremely engaged. I think the key to all of this is kind of being in the present moment, knowing where you are, acknowledging where you are, and then celebrating every single win. So the fact that you're couponing, that's a win. The fact that your Hulu and your Netflix, if you're not paying for those individually, you only pay just the cable and the internet, that's a win. So it's like, don't beat yourself up. And it's so funny, it's easier said than done. I can relate. But you are doing a phenomenal job. And I'm just really excited to see where you're going to be 3 months, 6 months, 12 years from now. One thing about finances is everything. It is a working progress ongoing. As Rose said earlier, you know, your first goal is, oh, I want to make 20,000. Then you make the 20,000. All right, it's something else. It's always going to be something else. But you are already just kind of just winning. You're just winning in every area. You love your kids, you love your boys, and you're making it work, and you're showing self-care for yourself. In the comments, there was a lot of people that could relate to the emotional eating. And
Yes.
we had a session scheduled. Zakai is going to come back. She's going to talk about healthy eating. We know one thing we do behind the scenes, just so you all know, we just talk about our lives, and because your life is, even though we might be in different stages of life, we can all relate. So sometimes we take out the finances and we're like, what are we struggling with that's impacting our finance? And one thing is health, which is food. Food also it's medicine if you're eating the right, food. And if you're kind of eating garbage all the time, next thing you know, you're sick. Then you got to go to doctors. You got to pay the copay, and sometimes you don't have copay. You got this bigger bill. Now you're stressed. Now you got high blood pressure. You're in the hospital. It's just like a domino effect, and it relates to finances. So I just want to commend you for once again being brave tonight, joining us. And I'm just really proud of where you are, how engaged you are with this community, and how focused you are on putting yourself first and making progress in your life. Like, that is amazing. This is what the progress of living richer looks like. And it's just nice to be able to see the community. I know you can't see the comments, but they are cheering you on. So after this session is over, I want you to go to the YouTube kind of video, and I want you to see how they can relate to you and how they are proud of you as well. So thank you, Naomi and Ro, everything you said. I mean, I'm taking notes for myself, because that that retail therapy is tough. It's a little tough sometimes.
It's hardest to give up.
I know it personally, so I can relate to her.
But you're going to get that car, and I cannot wait to celebrate with you and the rest of the Dream Builders when we see Naomi pop in with her picture next. Like, I could visualize it for you. So it's coming. It's coming.
Awesome.
Put it on your vision board if it's not already there.
It is already there.
Yes, it's coming. It is already done. So, Ro, if you could, and once again, like I said, you all, I know we're kind of going through it live, but go back to this session, think of the questions that she asked. And it's so funny because all of us, we're just really hard on ourselves. And when we ask these questions and we write it out or even say it out loud, you're like, you know what? I'm
killing it in these streets.
I'm doing the thing. So, Ro, if you could kind of just talk again about those 3 tips you talked about in the beginning, redefining success, and the rest that you kind of shared with us today.
All right. So in terms of success, definitely make it personal to you. Doesn't matter what Naomi's goals are. Doesn't matter what my goals are. Doesn't matter what Tamara's goals are. What does success look like for you, right? And as we spoke about, this is important because it's a moving target. So redefine success. That is number 1. Number 2, you want to redefine productivity. Does productivity look like checking off 20 things off your list? Or does it look like I'm going to do this one important thing and then I'm going to take a nap? That, to me, that is just as productive as a person who did 25 things, because that's what matters to you. Sometimes you just have to shut it all down. I am going to sleep. And you'll be amazed at the jumpstart you get from that rest. So you define what matters to you, and then you can create your checklist. It doesn't matter that the other person got 10 things done. Like I said, busyness or activity is not productivity. It's what matters. How is that helping you reach your end goal, right? So if Naomi's trying to get a car, but she's out there spending, then that's not a productive use of her time or her money or her resources, right?
Correct.
And then we talked about success, productivity. Then last I shared the slides with the strategy, the harmony, and the grace. We want to swap out hustling and engage in harmony. So what does that look like? Instead of running these streets trying to do 25 things, do what's important to you. So it's not so much about work-life balance, it's about harmony. So maybe for Naomi, that's I'm gonna do these groceries, then I'm gonna do the laundry, and then I'm gonna go watch my kid play, or do whatever special extracurricular activity they do. Or it could be I'm going to spend an hour and a half with my kid watching a movie, and then after that, I'm gonna go take a nap. So that's when I talk about harmony, getting all the things to work together. And then with the grinding, Cut it out. Stop grinding. Employ grace. Be strategic about what you need to do. Stop struggling. A lot of people talk about cliff jumping and we're going to do the leap and we're going to do that. The hungry artist, the struggling artist, it's not cute. Be strategic. If you're planning to leave your job, have a plan, have some money in the bank. Be strategic. Don't just be out here trying to do what you see on social media and then you're hungry hitting up the Budgetnista talking about, can I have $100? No, be strategic, have a plan, be intentional. And lastly, Naomi, one thing I wanted to remind you is that time is your friend. I know sometimes you feel like you're running out of time, especially as moms. We have children, they have needs. Sometimes we feel like we're running out of time, but time is your friend. We all get the same 24 hours. I'm not big on excuses because I had to sleep X amount of time to make sure that I could do whatever I needed to do. But I will say time is your friend. And one small tip is be grateful for whatever time you have, because the more you practice gratitude, the more things you have to be grateful for.
So good, so good. Thank you so much, Ro. And again, Naomi, thank you again for joining us tonight. I know the three of us will kind of be in touch to further the conversation a little bit more, but I really hope everyone enjoyed the session tonight. It was something that we were doing different. And if you want to kind of see more of these, we were actually bringing people just like you that are working on their goals. I mean, even the team is like you as well. So let us know if you kind of like this. We're going to do one more session, but if this becomes something that you are extremely interested in and enjoying, we might make this a monthly kind of segment with Literature Academy. So let us know. You will see a post in a Facebook group soon. That is where you'll be able to ask even more questions for Ro and to cheer Naomi on as well while you're in there, because once again, she was really brave tonight. And then also she's just doing a phenomenal job. So just really excited to see what your feedback is on this session, and super excited to see the progress Naomi is going to make in the future, because we know you're going to win in every goal that you had set. So before I move forward, I am just going to ask a few more questions. Naomi, you are all set. We're going to let you rest now. That was a lot of work. We're going to let you rest, but you're welcome to stay on as we kind of jump into a quick Q&A. So Ro, these questions are for you. I just saw three major ones that I think all of us can kind of relate to. And that was, how do you shift when you're trying to shift the trigger point? So one example is someone has a shoe spending habit. What can they do about that? How do they acknowledge the trigger? And then what are some solutions?
Okay, so the first thing is the why. Why are you spending the money on the shoes? Is it because your girlfriend is buying Gucci shoes and you're trying to keep up with the Kardashians? Is it because you have a specialty need and only Gucci has your shoes? I don't believe that, if that's the answer. So the first thing is why. Ask yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, why are you spending this money? And if it's something that has to do with, you trying to keep up with somebody else, you comparing yourself or trying to walk in someone else's shoes, no pun intended, I would say you got to get out of that, and then find out what your trigger points are. Just like Naomi did. She said, you know what? I do realize that when I'm stressed, that's when I eat and that's when I spend. Find out what that trigger point is. The next time you find yourself running to the mall to go get some shoes, what was a trigger? Did you just have an argument with someone? Did you, like whatever it is, find out what that trigger is, and then you can come up with a replacement. So if it's food, every time I'm stressed, I eat ice cream. You say, okay, when I'm stressed, I'm going to go take a walk, get some fresh air. So now you're swapping out the ice cream for fresh air. So with the shoes, every time I'm stressed, tired, whatever, I go shopping. Now you say, whenever I'm stressed, maybe you just go look online. You look at the shoes, you don't purchase. I wouldn't even say do window shopping. I do not want you in the mall. It is too tempting. But, find out what the trigger is and then replace it with something that's actually going to be beneficial to you.
Thank you. Good stuff. I could say recently for me, when I I love books. I buy books for no reason. I buy journal stationery, all that stuff, just buying it because it's cute. Little girls like me too. Yes. So one of the things I do is, instead of going to the store because it's books, I'm like, let me go to the library. I mean, I've always been a library fan, but sometimes I love taking the book home and writing and highlighting it. I'm like, no, just gonna go to the library, and I can go in, I can touch the books, I can read it, I can put it in the bag, I can check it out, I can take it home. It feels like shopping, but it was free. So kind of just thinking of things like that. If you're, I mean, and then sometimes maybe you just need to do just kind of like a little, take it down a notch. So for shoes, instead of going to like a shoe store, maybe it's a shoe, maybe you go to Gucci instead of going to Gucci, maybe go to Rainbow. I don't know. I don't know if they can do it. I don't know. But maybe you just need to find a little alternative there for a little bit. The other question was, what were those 5 F's when working on your goals? What were the, I guess, like the different pillars in your life that your goals should be focused on?
Sure. So we're going to talk about fitness, family, fun or friends. That's the same one. Fun or friends, faith, and finance. So fitness, family, number 3, fun or friends, finance, and faith.
Thank you. And then let's talk about just really quick about productivity coaching, because sometimes people have heard of life coaches, business coaches. Of course, you have a fitness coach that might help you. But talk about productivity coaching. You guys basically saw a live session tonight. Just kind of talk about the benefits of it and how people can look for one, and maybe a special offer you might have for our dream builders tonight.
Sure. Awesome. So basically, everyone needs a coach, right? Anyone who is doing good in life, they have a coach. You think about an artist, they have a coach. You think about a singer, they have a voice coach, they have a vocal coach. So as women, we are doing everything. Out of anybody else, we need a coach, right? Because we want to win in life too. So productivity coaching, it's just about time management and accountability. So some people call me their accountability best friend. Some people call me their accountability bully. But some people call me a task ninja. Whatever you want to call it, it's just about saying to someone, hey, I have these goals. My friends are too busy. Can you keep me accountable? And again, so what makes me unique is because I look at harmony. So you're never going to get the boot camp with me. It's not go hard, go hard, go hard, do this, do this, do that. No, that doesn't work for me. It's about all the things you need to do, but still living in harmony. So I told Tamara that I would give a special offer. Typically I do my sessions for $125, but I'm offering 30-minute sessions for $50 for the next couple of days. I have sessions booked through the end of the month. So you can hop on, there are 20 sessions available for $50 each. Go on, we'll have the links ready for you. Hop in, fill out the questionnaire just like Naomi did. Make sure that you hop on over and just let me know where you need help, where you need accountability, and we'll do strategy sessions. So you'll walk away with tips. You'll walk away with homework. You'll walk away with a strategy to just win in 2020.
Thank you so much, Ro. So you all, when you are looking at the Academy, watching this video right now, underneath the video inside of the Academy, you will see the website link. If you're interested in that coaching session, you can go ahead and click on that link, fill out the form like she said, and she will contact you to get the process going. As she stated, I mean, that's a pretty generous deal. Thank you so much, Ro. She usually charges $125 and she's offering it to you for $50. And you said there's only 20 spots available, yes, right?
Because I need harmony in my life too. I can't be talking to 200 people.
Yeah, 20 spots available. We have over 25,000 people in the Academy. So that is so act fast if you're interested in that. And then again, for those who are fairly new, I saw a lot of new names and people saying that they're a first timer tonight. I just want to thank you for joining us for this first time special session. So it's a lot of firsts tonight. So thank you. Again, in the Facebook group, you will see a repost of the link. If you want to watch the replay, you can also click on the link in your text message or in your email reminder that you receive. That will always bring this session back up to watch the recording. And then we also have a worksheet as well. Can you talk about the worksheet, Ro? There was a little bit more information on that. I think it was in the last session.
Absolutely. So what I did, I put a worksheet together. Since I'm not going to be able to talk to everyone one-on-one doing the coaching, I put a worksheet together that will help you go through those questions. There are questions with introspection, asking you, why is it that I do this? What do I want from life? There are quotes. It's a beautifully designed worksheet. and it will help you walk through your goals for 2020. And then I left some blank pages. So if you wanted to plan for the decade, you have extra space to do that. And then it's also broken down. So the way that I do my coaching is you have your goal, you break them down into bite-sized pieces. So you'll see a sheet for 2020, you'll see quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, so that you can break it down. And then you can break it down into monthly. So the worksheet is on sale for $25 through Wednesday. And then I'll go back to the original price of $35.
Awesome. So many greatness coming out of this session. And Naomi, again, I can't stop thanking you. Like, just thank you so much. Able to relate to your situation, to your obstacles. And once again, I know that everyone's kind of in a different stage in their life financially, but those obstacles are pretty much the same. And it really comes down to mindset, having that extra push, getting an accountability partner. So the accountability bully here, which she's not, I can tell that was sarcastic because she's totally not. We'll help you get that all together. So thank you all for joining us on this special Sunday. Thank you for taking this time to focus on yourself and your finances. I know sometimes everything can seem overwhelming, but you being here is progress. So thank you. Have a good evening, and we'll see you in the Facebook group. Have a good night.
Good night.